Sometimes I joke about the misery, but it's not to make light of despair or anything. It's a topic that people try to stay away from. And that's your prerogative. It's the immigration thing, because you have to make people whole that are inside of your nation. So your trade-off is like, they're saying if you deport people, that they're going back into a situation where they could be killed. They're a refugee. They're going back to somewhere where they have nothing, and there'll be they'll go back to a situation where they have nothing. They're in danger and their persecution. Or on the other side, on the other side of the coin, you have people like the black people who could sink into despair. Who could, if they're not made whole by the country, if they're not made whole by the government, meaning like extended upward mobility toward them, employment, prospects, prosperity. So for the purpose of talking about this issue, to gloat is really like, you wouldn't be trying to avoid it for the same reason that a lot of people try to avoid it, because you're saying you're trading one despair for another. So it's not a party, you know what I mean? I maybe joke about like, if a woman was like from like Guatemala or something, and I was trying to talk to her, or trying to get to meet her or something, and then I don't know if it's the dynamics around her culture or the people like, you complicate their existence by being interested. If she showed any affection to you, if she gave you a hug, like 4 or 5 other people noticed that shit. You know what I mean? I don't know what the fuck. So all of a sudden she was just like, turn her shoulder to me, So like, instead of like being greeting and friendly and stuff, it was like, she's like, damn, I think you had me thinking that I liked you. So like, it's like convoluted. So like, I was joking about, you could deport them, but I just joke. I don't really mean that I want that. I don't think that she need you for that anyway. I wouldn't want to marry to bring someone into the country. That's like, it's not that serious. And plus, it's along the line of people like, what's his name, Gary, the numbers guy, who thinks that American women are trash. So it's like, I don't want to, like, get exploited, well, in a way that he's kind of right, because they can import all of their relatives and everything, and then grab up your will and lands and everything if you have this kind of thing. And those are going to be competition for your own community that's being imported on your, so that's like not anything I would ever try to do. But they might be interpreting things, like they might be reading too much into some shit. But anyways, like, I can out, if by being mature you have some kind of refrain, and even if you don't, it's just like they want to see if you're reactionary or something. So it should be easy to make a good impression, because over an extended period of time, people show you that they have deep-seated inequity or something like that. They'll be able to see it. And there's nothing wrong with a girl. She has some way of checking to find out if you're cool or not. So it could just be like a matter, like a period of like test or something like that. I really don't know you, So it's like you make up your own interpretation and nothing is what it seems ever. So you have to, so it's like over time you should realize that you respect her occupation, her space and relationship, professional relationships and all that kind of stuff. Then it could get simple. It can get more simpler, but there's like a lot of cynicism and stuff, and that's just like poisoned by all the things that it's like. You have a refugee crisis with a crisis of I don't want to say reparations, because I don't want to trigger the scenario for them to try to actually pay us the reparation, because they always try to sneak it to you in some way that doesn't give you any, doesn't make you look good. It makes you look like a, if you get in, they tried to extend the PPP scams and the stimulus and all these, like, this is all contrived on shady business. And if you step in front to take that, then it looks bad for your whole, it looks bad on, if you want to look at people like, what's the percentage of people who abuse this or that program, then it's like saying, oh, they have more criminal mentality or something. But what about the criminal mentality of people that are trying to pay us reparations in sneaky ass ways like that? You accept it like that? And then how much so it's like if the country takes a hit because of some scam that allowed you to get paid, then you just, even if everybody believes it, they still don't respect you subconsciously. So they be trying to debase us in different ways. And so I don't even want to express an interest in, I'm only part black. So, for the, like, let's say the people that are, come like 100%, let's say you're 100% black. What I would want you to get instead of reparations is upward mobile. And this class of power, the power elite, or whatever you want to call them, they like to be able to bestow that. So you check all the boxes for them, and then they bestow that, and they have they have someone, an asset, like you become an asset or something like that. Like, that's all they're interested in. So you can't even really complain, because you know how they get down. You can't really get mad, because you know that's the way they are. Even exposing it, even going on to like keep, it's like nothing. So what can you do? It's like and then really only you see that some of those characteristics like kind of like come off on other people when they acquiesce, and at some point in time you were a slave. So you can't really even get that mad, because you turned away from something that was a bad theology or a mindset that was unhealthy. You turned away from it, then other people have that mindset, and you want to like let's say like scold it or something, or like hold them accountable or something. You have to kind of like remember, fuck, like I used to be selfish like that. I didn't really care. I used to only fuck with people because I could go and buy weed, and I never went and hung out with them, and they were like, man, you tripping, like that's cool, like, whatever. But they weren't really mad at me or anything, but they were saying like, that's whack. So you have to get socialized when you're young, and a lot of these efforts seem to be like imperfect, and or there's something like, you could say it's leftover bureaucracy or something, but those are, you don't, those are the people that are trying. So like, it's like the best they have to offer. So you're just gonna try your best, even though that you can't really ascertain ADD in a classroom setting or something. Like ADD might be a power, it might be a strength if it wasn't for like bureaucratic method ways that we kept on, even past the point of that. Because at one point in time, bureaucracy works. It solved some kind of problem or some issue or some crisis or something, but we lose our imagination. Like the bureaucracy stays on, and they don't want you to have creative, imaginative approaches to something that they are lining their pocket. Damn, I thought I wasn't gonna say shit we already knew about. So what is this solving for then? It's like, what am I gonna use this for? Because this knowledge is just like it's knowledge of a class of people that you never interact with, and you only see a glimpse of them through your community. But that little glimpse is like really devastating though, because they're the ones that enforce the coercion on everybody. They're the reason why you can't interpret an action as subversive, because you understand they're being coerced. Or you can't see something as like, you can't walk into a bank with a fucking COVID mask on. Oh wait, it's like everything changed like that. And you accept a standard for jeopardy. You take on a standard for peeling off layers of security or protection, and you have to be complacent. So you have to be like all silly and stuff, like, oh, I could finish that reminds me of the words of a song or something, and you just start like, I don't know, it gets on my nerves. Like, they find this little anecdote or something in something that you're not even talking about, and it's a distraction, and then they're like, let me fix your collar. You mind if I fix your collar? You want to hear the radio? Because I don't know, it's like they think you're gonna try to trade misery for misery, like, and take delight in the misery of others because you spared the misery from the people that you relate to. Now I want to offer a solution, and I don't know why we act like we don't know this shit, like, because there could be, dollar operated showers, like for people who just want to get clean and fresh. There could be like the tiny houses things. It's like only people I see ever living in tiny houses is yuppies. Anytime they try to get together some homeless people in a tiny house community, the shit gonna burn down. Remember Sheriff Arpaio in Arizona came up with this outdoor prison complex. They applied an idea to prison. It didn't work, but if they thought this out, we have all this land that it's like fallow or unproductive land, undeveloped. If I can buy a fucking half an acre in Arkansas for fucking $2,000, then what about the land that for $900 or something like that? What about the land that really nobody wants? So like, instead of prison, right? Instead of sending people back to a country where they say, like, if it's like, remember the test that Solomon put up to women, two women fighting over the baby? If you're really about that, then you'll make this decision. She said, I'll give the baby to her so they don't chop it in half. If my life is in danger, if I don't want to go get sent back to a country where I have nothing and know nothing and know nobody and being persecuted, and I don't know, the gangs or whatever, they want to incorporate you, or they want you to kill you or what, then you would opt for homesteading. And it's that simple. Homesteading develops land that we don't use. It contributes to productivity, and it saves your life if it's that bad. So since we can't determine everybody without weakening our own security by giving people the benefit of doubt, then how about, because there's even a possibility that they could come up with something like a craft or something that becomes marketable, and they become rich, like the Oneidas. Remember, their China is in all the restaurants. They have to use their fine china. That was actually a sex cult, and they moved away to go live in the wilderness and make like kiln and flame proof tempered dining, stuff, like whatever they did, that was just to support them, regardless of whether they're a cult or weird or whatever. It was to support them. And that has become an estate worth, I don't know, $1 billion or whatever. So they could become like, I don't know, casino gambling Indians or something like that. I don't have a problem if they took off like a rocket ship and black people can get them jobs. So Sheriff Arpaio's prison complex, instead of a prison, how about a homesteading and a microeconomy within it? Would not teach them, it would let them use what they already have, which is like unity. Make me jealous. I'm jealous. And yeah. So you don't have to deport the girl just because she didn't want to go out with you. That's fucked up. And fucking, because like also near politics and members of her family getting deported, like how is that not going to be in your mind, right? So it's going to be like, well, we have this simple fix, we have this simple solution, but we can't never offer it to nobody. We can't never do that, because we got to play up the crisis and the humanity. Oh my God, the humanity and the crisis and people dying and everything. Like that is a whole grift, and they don't ever want it to stop. So they will never come up with a simple ass solution. Like, instead of criminalizing you, you can build your own community, come out like some rich Jew or something like that, and I don't give a fuck. Nah. Because you wouldn't be homeless if you had a mailbox and you can get a clean shower and you can walk around with a tent and a yoga mat. And you could, take humble offerings of food or whatever, because nobody's hungry. They murdered their appetite with the drugs. Waiting around for the government to make you whole, to do something to give you back your dignity, like allowing you to build a 200 square foot structure or grow some motherfucking plants, grow some farm, something like. I think everybody should have access to some land to grow some part of their fucking dietary, meet their nutritional goals. What the fuck? But it's got to be all licensed, and you got to debate over every little method of construction and where you import the lumber and where all this kind of shit, and this has to that, and you would build it wrong, never tell you all of the. They'll come around and inspect it, and then they'll tell you what you did wrong. But it's hard to look that shit up. You need a team of paralegals or something. Anyway, that's enough.